Psalm 37. It says, trust in the Lord and do good. This morning, I'm wanting to challenge every one of us in this room. I'm not here to necessarily preach a sermon today, though I usually don't. I'm here to challenge every one of us. I know a lot of us are probably going to start new diet plans tomorrow. Kayla and I are. We're gonna probably all renew our memberships to the workout place tomorrow. Or maybe some of us might this evening before tomorrow gets here go to Walmart and buy some dumbbells or something. I don't know what we're going to do. A lot of us are going to commit to a lot of new things this year. Maybe we decided we're going to be better parents, or we're going to be better on the workplace, or we're going to make more money than we've ever made any other year before, or we're going to be a better spouse. We're making a lot of commitments. But I just wonder if today we could make a fresh consecration and a fresh dedication to the Lord today. Every one of us in this room. Not that we're going to do better. Not that we're going to be better. Hopefully we will, but if we are, it's only going to be because of what He does in and through us. It will not be of our might. It will not be of our strength. It won't be because of our willpower, so to speak. And so we look to Psalm 37, and David says, trust in the Lord and do good. I guess we could just stop right there, the first part of verse 3, and say that we're going to commit right here at the beginning of this year, that this year is going to be different than any other year in our lives. And we are going to truly trust God through every situation and every circumstance in our lives. I can go ahead and tell you right now that in this room, we're going to have some things to rejoice about this year. There's going to be, some of you are going to call and say, man, I just got a great promotion. I just got a great job. Man, look at what God has done in my marriage. It's an awesome thing to see what's happened. We're going to get a lot of praise report, and there's going to be a lot of good things that's going to happen. Can I go ahead and tell you there's also going to be some negative things and some bad things that's going to happen to some of us in this room. We may lose loved ones. We may go through some tough financial times. I'm not proclaiming that or speaking that on anybody. I'm just saying it's the law of life and nature, ups and downs, and the roller coaster of life. We're going to all experience it. But I just wonder if today we could mark today, Sunday, January the 3rd, the first Sunday, our first gathering of Life Church in the year 2010, that we commit, God, I will trust you this year. Come what may. Good, bad, indifferent, ugly, whatever it may be, God, I'm going to trust you. And God, I'm making a fresh commitment to you today to say that I will honor you in all of my life. Trust the Lord and do good. Listen to this, the latter part of verse 3. It says, dwell in the land and feed on His faithfulness. Dwell in the land. Live in Franklin Parish, Richland Parish, the United States of America. Live with your president and your Congress making decisions and things that you don't agree with or that go against your grain. Live in places where things are not going the right way. Live in that place where there are hurricanes and there are major natural disasters. Live in that place where there's heartache and there's pain and there's all these other things that happen. Live in that place, but eat on His faithfulness, because He is faithful and He is good and He is true all of the time. When things are going good in the world, He's still a great God and He's still faithful. When everything is falling apart in our world and everything is bleak and there's nothing but despair, He is still faithful and He's still God and He's still good and He still lives and dwells and works in your life through it all. So we'll dwell here. We'll have to put up with some junk. We'll have to deal with some mess in this world this upcoming year. There's going to be things that's going to take place in Washington that you're not going to agree with. There's going to be other things that's going to happen that you're going to want to get so angry about and get so mad about. But remember this, that you don't feed off of that. We don't eat from that table. We eat from the King's table. And though we dwell in this land, we also told that we're in this world, but we're not of this world. Our dwelling is somewhere else. We may be hanging out here and dwelling here for a little while, but we're feasting on His faithfulness. I love this verse, verse 4. Delight yourself also in the Lord, and He shall give you the desires of your heart. So many times I've read that scripture, and it's one of those famously quoted Psalms that we read all of the time. And so many times I read that, and I've even heard people preach from that very scripture. And essentially the way it would be preached and the way I always believed it was, well, if I put God first, He's going to give me everything I want. If I'll just put God first in my life, He's going to give me a mansion on top of that big old hill down there and just south of Crowville, or He's going to give me that Rolls Royce I've been wanting, or He's going to pile my bank account high with millions of dollars. He's going to give me all that stuff if I put Him first. And I don't believe that's what the psalmist was saying at all. I believe what he was saying was, if we delight ourselves in Him, if He is our focus, if we're in harmony with Him, then He will give us the desires of our heart. In other words, the desires that we have, if we delight ourselves in Him, will be the desires that He put there. And all of a sudden our focus will begin to change. And all of a sudden our desires will begin to change. And it won't be focused on us anymore, but it will be focused on Him and Him alone. If we delight ourselves in the Lord, He will place those desires in our heart. Trust in the Lord. Dwell in the land, but feast on His faithfulness. Put Him first and allow Him to place the desires in our heart. Verse 5, commit your way to the Lord. Trust also in Him. If there's 300 people in this room, there's 300 different ways. There's 300 different ideas. There's 300 different concepts and philosophies and theologies and doctrines. But could we commit today to surrender our ways to His ways and trust in Him? Truly trust in Him? God, I've been trying to do it my way for a long time. God, I've been trying to figure it out and work this situation out, and if we could only do this, then that would happen, and if this will all play out, and we're doing it our way, but commit your way to the Lord, David said. Trust also in Him, and He'll bring it to pass. I wonder if today we could surrender our way to His way. Say, God, I'm not going to do it my way this year. I've tried to figure it out. I've tried to do it the right way. I've tried to study. I've tried to manipulate this situation and turn this crank over here, and none of it seems to be working. God, I'm not going to do it my way this year. God, let me just right now on this Sunday, January the 3rd, let me just check my brain out. And Lord, help me to put on the mind of Christ. And I commit my way to You, and I will trust in You. In verse 7, very important, verse 7, rest. Everybody say rest. Rest in the Lord and wait patiently upon Him. Do not fret. In the latter part of verse 8, do not fret. It only causes harm. Rest in the Lord. So yet another dedication, another commitment that we could make today is to say, God, I'm going to rest in You. My prayer is that tonight, those of you who settle in your heart and your mind, God, I'm going to commit my ways to You this year. God, I'm going to trust You truly. Come what may, I'm going to trust You this year. Those of us who decide and make up in our minds, I'm not going to worry, I'm not going to fret about what tomorrow brings, that's only going to bring more harm and cause more harm in my life. Truth is, I'm worrying about something that I don't have any control over anyway. And 97% of the things I worry about never happen. So what's the point? It's only taking years off my life, taking joy and happiness out of my home and away from my children and my marriage. I'm committing to trust the Lord this year. Come what may, ups and downs, highs and lows, we will trust Him. We will not fear, we will not fret, and we will rest in the Lord.